Righto, just want to show you how I've worked out a fantastic way to live jam techno using Ableton. I've got push 3 and I've created myself a interface that's basically 8 channels. I've got a kick channel, a bass channel, a hats channel, a percussion channel, what I call a chord channel, a lead channel, acid, and then a vocalization using a synth. So rather than have a whole bunch of physical hardware, I've just created a software version of what I would ideally like to have in real life. But I've also created the bass line and the percussion and chord, the lead, acid line and vocals to be triggered by sequences, and those sequences I can have them generate loops for me on the fly. So if I just highlight the kick drum, so I'm just using DS kick, so let's fire that up. Put my headphones on. Rightio, so I'm controlling it with an Ovation launch control, just a MIDI interface, and I've just assigned all the knobs to control all of my effects. So we've got a kick going, we go to our bass line. I've just got SQ sequencer set up, just using wavetable. Set that up for a sound that I can modify on the fly how I want. All of this can happen, as you know, with techno. It's all about the flow, the energetic rhythm, the waves. So basically I just DJ the sound loops. I call it loop surfing. I can just bring in what I want at the time. My hats, I've just got them set up. Got my percussion loop, just using drum rack, loaded it up. Got SQ sequencer to generate me a loop, and I can just hit randomize and I can get a new loop if I want one. I've got certain effects just to add character. I can generate new loops whenever I want. Just pull the bass out, break the track down, turn the hats off. I can just trigger to generate a new loop. So you could just have endless percussion loops. I've got effects that allow me to further extract the character that I want, chase that character, create new percussion loops constantly, never ending. Over here on the chord, I've got my familiar techno chord structure and loops. Once again, I'm using SQ sequencer to generate a random loop on the fly. I can change the character of that sound on the fly. 5 steps. I've got it resetting after 1 bar. It just creates that techno polyrhythm. Acid sound. Got it set so that I can modify the sound of the original waveform, plus also the density of the loop. Generates a vocal-like sound for me. Once again, MIDI mapped through a macro. I can modify the character of the sound on the fly. I can generate a new pattern using SQ sequencer to give me the random voice sounds. Change them on the fly. That's the concept. You get to make up the energetic flow. Set up your controller interface so that you can modify the sounds on the fly. Increase or decrease the energy using your filters, using your waveform modifiers, and that way you have an endless supply of techno that allows you to play for hours and hours. It's also great for jamming with someone else who may or may not have hardware or another Ableton setup. Me and a mate do that, and we just jam for hours and hours with endless loop generation. And you end up coming up with happy surprises and mysteries that make playing techno interesting and never ending. Different templates where I use different synths. So here for the chord channel I'm using Drift. Sometimes I'll have a version where I use Wavetable or Operator, and I have the same concept. I just allow myself the ability to change the character of the sound on the fly, tweak it constantly. The whole idea is to basically DJ all these 8 channels ride a wave of techno that never ends. Anyway, I'll leave it at that, and I hope that makes sense. I might dive a bit deeper in another video next time. Thanks for hanging out. Cheers.